Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it is going to be on Freakier Friday. Just like with the first movie that came out all the way back in 2003, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are trying to have a good life, especially since Lindsay Lohan is a single mother with a daughter now, and she is getting married to someone who also has a daughter, and the two daughters don't really get along. So when Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan get body swapped again, only this time around, her daughter and stepdaughter, future stepdaughter, get into the mix. Yeah, they have to try and figure out how to get out of it. Oh, it's not going to be as easy this time around, especially since, it's a four-way body swap movie now. Now, I never actually watched the original Freaky Friday movie, well, hence the term original, because that was actually a remake of another movie that came out years before that film. But you don't really need to watch that one in order to watch this new movie. But yeah, I didn't watch the movie until a couple days ago in preparation for this review. And yeah, it's a really good movie. So I felt like I had all I need to know when going into this movie, because chances are there are going to be a lot of references to the original film, especially since it has the same storyline. Now, when it comes to these types of movies, you always gotta feel nervous because, when it comes to these types of films, they could go two different ways. Most of the time, it's usually the one way, and that being just have much of the same with a bunch of references of nostalgia and just put that into a new movie thinking that's going to sell a bunch of tickets. Because I was actually surprised this was actually going into theaters, because Disney Plus has been releasing a lot of sequels to older films straight to Disney Plus, from Hocus Pocus 2 to Disenchanted, which is a movie I forgot even existed. I watched that movie and completely forgot what even happened in that film. I still remember Enchanted really well because that was a good movie, but you get my point. And I feel like that's going to kind of feel the same way when watching this film. I didn't hate it. I just feel like, well, you're mostly just doing the same thing, just expanding upon it. It's kind of like when it comes to like a video game remaster, when they come out with a new game with a few, extra features into the mix that doesn't really feel like it does a whole lot. I mean, sure, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are much older this time around, but that's not to say it's always going to make the movie good. I mean, they're good in the movie regardless. They do have occasionally some moments that did make me chuckle here and there, though there were some times where I was just all like, okay, did I really need to hear Jamie Lee Curtis or the girl in Jamie Lee Curtis's body say, I think I peed myself a couple times? Because, yeah, that's kind of a lazy AI written joke. I hope AI wasn't part of this, because, wow, that would be just no. But hey, I don't feel like it seems that way, because the movie, while definitely feels a bit slower, there are times in the movie where it does drag on just a little bit too much, and that's saying something, because Weapons was over 2 hours long, and that movie did not feel like over 2 hours long. This, however, I feel like felt a little bit longer than how long it should have been. I mean, you watch the original movie, it goes by pretty quickly because it was very straightforward. But when you have characters this time around introduced, some that are involved with the same family, it can be kind of hard to, just focus on one storyline to another. And there were times in the movie where it was kind of hard for me to progress who was who. That happened to me quite a bit throughout the film. It was just it kind of got on my nerves a little bit. But by the halfway point, I did manage to get everything wrapped around into a bow. Now, are there references? Oh yes, there are plenty of references that people who grew up watching the original film are definitely going to be familiar with. From the music to a lot of the older characters, from Lindsay Lohan's original boyfriend, Jake, who does play a part in the movie later on. And you got an appearance from the old teacher to her brother. And it does try your best to, get you nostalgic for the original film. But, it's gotten to a point where I thought it was cool at first, but it's gotten to a point where it's getting quite old. That's why I was so happy with how The Naked Gun didn't do any form of nostalgia bait other than having a couple references while being its own thing. But I feel like what redeemed the movie the most for me was towards the end. It does have a reference that I thought worked pretty well, and it does have that sense of, family always comes first, which, yes, has been done many times before, but for a movie like this, since that's really the point, because, that's kind of how you're supposed to get back into your body in this franchise, then yeah, then yeah, if you're going to do that, definitely do that. And hey, the actors, they definitely seem like they're having a fun time. It's not like there was a performance in the movie that was just absolutely painful, because it shows that they want to be there. They want to have fun. They loved working on the first movie, so it shows that, they're generally having a fun time with this movie. I mean, there's literally a credit sequence that had, bloopers and whatnot, and it just has you wondering, why can't Pixar do this again? Like, why? But yeah, in the end, guys, Freakier Friday, it was what it was. It doesn't really do anything to enhance what made that original film so iconic. It's just, well, another one of those sequels where, it brings in the nostalgia while not really doing a whole lot when it came to, its storyline, because it's mostly the same thing, just with more characters this time around. It's not a painful experience. Like, there wasn't a time where I just wanted to leave. Like, it could have been far worse. But it wasn't a terrible film. It shows that they're trying. The message is still there, even though it's not really anything new. I did get a few chuckles here and there, but I would just recommend, staying at home and watching the original film. But there are still plenty of other movies you should definitely check out in theater right now. From Weapons to Bad Guys 2 to Naked Gun. Together is still playing, though those aren't films that are necessarily in the same genre as this. The Bad Guys 2 would be in there. But yeah, all around, I wouldn't really call this freakier. It's much the same, but hey, it can still be harmless fun if you just want to feel nostalgic again. Now, before I end the video, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to add this in, but since we're on the same subject on sequels to older films, I did get a few questions from people asking me if I was going to review Happy Gilmore 2, and I respectfully replied to them with, no, I wasn't. I do have multiple reasons. The first reason being, I never watched the original. Yes, I could have watched the original film, but apparently they removed the first movie from Netflix, so I'm just going to have to go on Amazon and look for a Blu-ray copy, because it's supposed to be a classic. I'm sure I would enjoy it. But the other reason is because when it comes to sequels to older films being released straight to streaming, or films in general being released straight to streaming and not given a chance to go up on the big screen, I don't nearly have as much excitement to review those types of movies as I do. There were some that I loved that I did review, and if I have no choice but to review them, like if a movie just truly wowed me and I really wanted to talk about it, then I would. But I just don't get that same excitement for reviewing a new movie that goes straight to streaming rather than on the big screen. That's why I enjoy titling my movies after I saw, because it's after I saw them from the theater, not after I watched from home, because that's the thing. You go out to a movie to see a movie. But I don't know, because I heard the movie was just average at best. Some people love it for nostalgia, and a lot of people have been saying that the movie sucks. I'm not sure how I would feel about it, but that's not to say I would never watch it. If I were to watch it just so I could marathon both movies, I probably wouldn't do a review of the second film. It's not because I don't want to. Maybe if it was going to theaters, I would want to review it. That's why if this movie was going straight to streaming, then yeah, I don't get that motivated when seeing a movie from home and then reviewing it for you guys. I don't get that same amount of motivation. I mean, that's not to say I'm never gonna do it again. I don't know. It's you pretty much get where I'm saying. I know that's not really a valid reason. Like, I didn't say I wasn't gonna watch it ever. I probably just wouldn't do a video on it. And that's all. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.